the simple invitation to meet life as it is, and to meet life as you are. Sounds simple, is incredibly difficult for most people. The end of the argument, the capacity to meet life without a story of who we are and without the story of how it is. Both of these things, the story of who we are and the story of how it is, are the veils almost that we need to look through, penetrate, dissolve, in order to be able to meet life as it is and as we are. And that will generally mean undoing, unpacking, revealing, dissolving the veils that shroud us, the veils that shroud our eyes, the projections we carry, the incessant carrying of bags from the past into the present, and to seek in ever unfolding ways, layer upon layer if we need to, ways to just be able to turn up like this. No story, no backlog, no resistance, no argument, no fighting, or a simple, ever deepening surrender and acceptance. As soon as we utter the words surrender and acceptance, we form an idea in our mind of what that looks like and what that means, and that generally tends to put it at a distance from us because we conceptualize it. And on one hand, sometimes that's useful because we get an idea of what it actually means. But a lot of the time it's redundant because it's actually us trying to conceptualize something so that we can either control it, make sense of it, and strangely in that way we actually don't have to do it. To meet life as it is, as we are, and particularly as we are. You know, because most of us, most people, are carrying around an argument that says, I shouldn't be like this, it shouldn't be like that. And if it wasn't like that, or if I wasn't like this, then, you know, everything might be better, or everything would be okay. That shouldn't have happened to me. That shouldn't be happening in the world or in my experience. This bit, that bit, over there, the continual argument, you know, of a courtroom mentality that I've talked about before. In judge, jury, victim, prosecutor, they all live inside us. We're constantly playing that out upon the world and upon ourselves. So we would, you know, go within ourselves from having a, you know, the victim mentality to having the prosecutor mentality, or the judge, you know, and we're like sit in judgment over ourselves primarily. If only we could sort out some of the judgment that we have of ourselves, which seems to be so impenetrable to so many people, this capacity we have to judge ourselves harshly, despite the fact that we're probably trying to do the best that we can in the world. The judge will come in, that voice that we've inherited from somewhere, parents, religion, school, God, somewhere, that says, well, yeah, you might be trying as hard as you can, but it's not good enough. It's not quite good enough. And that voice is either a reflection of the fact that we know that we're being inherently lazy or weak, you know, in which case it's an invitation to the truth of us, or else that voice is just absurd. It's not even our voice. See, we have to get really clear about what we're listening to. As I've said in millions of videos, we have to get really clear with ourselves. Stop judging ourselves. Because as long as we're judging ourselves, we're avoiding what is trying to come up to the surface. So you know, it's like the call to inner mastery is very strong, especially in these times, especially now, the call to inner mastery. And what that means, and I've said this in a lot of videos, is whatever arises, don't judge it, just listen to it. Whatever arises, love it, don't judge it, listen to it. Whatever arises, yeah, befriend it. You don't have to act on it. If it's the voice of anger or the voice of grief or the voice of rage or the voice of sorrow or the voice of victim, listen to it. Don't act on it. See whether it's true. I feel like, you know, the world is against me, or all that stuff that happened in the past shouldn't have happened to me. Well, okay, come on up. Let's have a look and see this. Let's have a look and see whether it's true beyond the superficial level. This is really good. This is like self-inquiry. Because that way we start to cleanse and resolve some of the issues. Because the fact is that no matter what happened in our past, we're here now. You can't fight with the past in that sense. It's happened. It's gone. All we have is now. Future is yet to unfold. Past has been. All we have is now. It's all there is. All there is. Everything else has been and gone, or is in the imagination. All we have is this. And in this is our power. And in this is our capacity to say, yes, it's coming up. No, I don't have to act on it. And is it true? That way, we're meeting what is, beginning to meet what is, whatever's arising, beginning to meet what is. That way, we start to develop the capacity to meet life as it comes. No drama, no agitated self. Meet life as it comes. This goes back to my videos about presence. To be present means we fall into a deeper place where we have the capacity to be with what arises, to meet life as it is and as we are, and to bear ourselves, yeah, to bear it, I used to be such a victim of how I felt. Hated, I couldn't bear how I felt. Constantly moving away from it. Running away from myself. 20s and 30s and even 40s. I started to run out of places to run to in my 40s because I was just meeting myself. No matter where I'd run to, there I'd be. See, no matter where you run to, there you are. You can't escape yourself. You can just keep on trying to escape yourself. But no matter where you go, there you are. So all the addiction that I had, all the trying to escape from the hot feelings, from the discomfort, from the pain, from the anger, eventually I realized that my mastery was to stop running. Stop running and meet myself. And it took some time and it took some courage. And then I started to realize that I could meet myself as I am, as the waves come up, as the waves of pain or anger, or just the waves of sensitivity or the waves of feeling. And that actually I could bring that power, that authority, that presence, and I could bring that to the world. So as the phenomenal world comes in, the world of experience, the world out there apparently comes in, I have a choice. I get attached or triggered into the drama of it, the agitation, the frenzy and all that, or else I just decide again and again and again to stay here, to meet what is with presence. And then that you develop that, miss the mark, fall off, get it wrong, over years, until by and by you end up like Neo in the Matrix, seeing it but not buying into it. To meet life as it is and as you are collapses the separation. This gets pretty strange and almost cosmic. To have nothing rising up, no past rising up within self, because you dealt with your karma, so you're kind of clean. There's no residue, there's just showing up. And when that kind of perception meets the world, you see it just as it is. No interpretation of it. No interpretation. You almost see through it to something else. You see through it to the energy system. Not conceptually, just viscerally. There's a union in that. Very powerful, subtle, powerful. But we're called to do that, and you can't do that just conceptually from philosophy. You can look and it's pretty, kind of interesting in that sense. But it's not seeing from the emptiness, because you've resolved your karma. That's where it gets powerful, because then you show up in the world as a kind of being of presence. Simple, natural presence. No overlay. No overlay here. And then you meet life as it is and as you are. And there's great power in that.